So before I begin my presentation, I want to give a quick preface to it. Last semester at Wabash College, I took Chinese, and my professor was from Beijing, and she frequently talked about WeChat and its impact on her life when she lived in China. So I kind of wanted to discover what she was talking about and why it's such a big influence on Chinese culture. So to begin with a quick history and background of the platform, um, so WeChat is owned and operated by Tencent, which is a tech giant in China. And it kind of rose to prominence with its desktop messaging app known as QQ, and it was an enormous success. However, it was very limited in its functionality as it was solely a desktop messaging app. So in order to kind of grow with the times and target this new growing mobile market, Tencent focused on developing a platform that was much better suited for mobile users. So just 7 engineers created the first version of WeChat, which launched in January of 2011. And although there were some difficulties with gaining a user base, a few months after its launch, WeChat added a revolutionary voice chat feature, which really boomed its user base. Tencent started as a side project and it ended up reinventing messaging in China. And that's according to this author, Hari Haran, of this article that kind of discussed the rise of WeChat. So next, I'm going to talk about the user demographics. So currently there are 1.2 billion active users, and it's the 5th largest platform in the world of all different social media platforms out there. And obviously China, Hong Kong, and Singapore are the 3 largest markets for the app, with the largest being China, of course. 73.7% of Chinese internet users currently use WeChat, and that's across the entire population of China, so that's obviously a huge number. 78% of Chinese citizens aged 16 through 64 use WeChat. So obviously, as you would assume with a technology app, it really focuses on that kind of middle-aged group. In the United States, although it's far less popular, there are still 19 million active users. And WeChat in the United States is far more utilized in urban areas than in rural areas. And in most of those urban areas, it's used by those who are studying in the United States, or have kind of come over temporarily to work in the United States from China. So now its features and activities. So WeChat launched as a platform exclusively for messaging and photo sharing, as I mentioned, but it's really grown and branched out to become a whole lot more. So now it includes voice calls and video calls, location sharing, these little mini games that you can play in the app, a story feature where you can post little pictures and videos similar to Instagram, live streaming, and a Venmo-like payment feature, which is known as WeChat Pay. So it's truly a one-stop shop for everything in China. So this newly developed WeChat Out allows for international calls as well at low rates. So that's just one additional feature they added to the platform recently. Also, to promote international usage, a localization feature allows for the translation of various foreign languages as well. And so WeChat is a free app for iPhone and Android users, and it's downloadable on Windows and Mac desktops as well. So it's free on several platforms. So now I'm going to take a look at the positive developments for WeChat. So recently, as a part of a recent Tesla update, Chinese Tesla owners can now use WeChat in their cars. And obviously, this is a huge development for the company. So Elon Musk said that you can live on WeChat. We don't have anything like WeChat outside of China, excuse me. So that was obviously big to have such an influential individual like Musk give those comments. Musk has also used WeChat as a model for a potential direction for Twitter as this one-stop shop sort of app. Also, WeChat Live has experienced a 4-fold increase in its user base since 2022. And Tencent is now providing incentives for influencers who might want to use WeChat Live. So it's been a really big boom there in that live industry. And then finally, with regard to controversial developments, WeChat has been accused of feeding user information to the Chinese Communist Party and promoting their propaganda. And this is kind of as a result of kind of laxed privacy measures by WeChat. They don't have end-to-end encryption, which means that anyone on the outside can kind of access your user information. And the Trump administration in 2020 sought to ban WeChat, but the order to ban it was struck down by a magistrate judge due to a First Amendment violation. Seth Kaplan, who's a lecturer at Johns Hopkins University, warns the American people of WeChat and its proponent, and is a proponent of banning it. And he is not alone in this move to ban WeChat, and it'll be interesting in the future to see where it goes.